Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another interview. If you guys don't know me, my name's Ethan. I'm with Futures Elite. I interview traders who have successfully reached their payouts to break down their process, their journey, and the setbacks that they may have encountered. And finally, most importantly, what made it click. Today, I'm interviewing Ben. He is a very straightforward man. He is very seasoned in the game. So make sure to get a notebook out, have your ears wide open, and tune into this. Let's get right into it. Why don't you tell us who you are, how you first started trading, and where you're from?
Yeah, my name is Ben Ronan. I'm in Virginia, and I started trading a number of years ago, basically on options and stocks, and just never really seemed to get my groove with that. So a number of years ago, I switched over to futures trading, which seemed to be a lot easier for me to understand and to digest. So I started down that journey, and I've been doing futures trading for years now.
Awesome. And do you mind if I ask how many prop firms you've been with throughout those years of trading?
Well, currently I have 12 prop firms.
Nice. And we are
And
one
I
of
have
them.
various account sizes with all of them. So I've gotten onto a path right now that I have been successful for well over 100 straight days.
Wow, that is awesome. That is insane to hear. So let's talk about that success. How hard was it to, get to that success? I mean, what sacrifices did you have to make, and what obstacles did you have to overcome?
Yeah, I did a lot of time with other people's, indicators and learning. And just in the beginning, I didn't really understand what I was doing. So it was a lot of just guess and not really understanding market structure and how things really work. And the big thing was is that I was successful in either passing prop firm challenges or whatever, and then getting to a point where okay, now I did it, now I gotta make it happen again, and then inevitably I would fail. And I just like didn't understand like I'd either get in too late or too early, and just never really found the success that I did. So then over the last few years, I've created my own suite of indicators that I've done for my own self and built them to the point where they have a very high success rate. And I built them a little bit through AI, but a little bit through my own knowledge of what I've learned over the last few years. And I use that every single day. And I'm not the kind of guy who wants to just sit there and trade all day and night. That's just not the kind of life I want to have. I want to be able to trade my goals and stop for the day and be happy with my decisions
Yeah.
and then repeat that every single day. And on a daily basis, I trade for anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes max. And I'm done.
Wow.
So,
And you just have the whole entire day just to kind of live your life, have fun,
yeah,
and yep, just
my
enjoy.
life.
Yeah. Awesome. May I ask, I don't know if this is too personal, but if I may ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 49.
Awesome. Love that. So you are for sure enjoying your life and, still bringing in some sort of an income each month, which is awesome. Now, kind of going back to our prop firm in a way, how many accounts have you had with our prop firm so far?
Uh, 3 for now, because that's all I was able to get.
Yeah. And what has your experience been? I mean, just of our prop firm. I mean, what are some pros and some cons that you want to point out?
Yeah, I think the pros are it was very easy to get signed up. Tech support's been very good. I've had a couple issues here and there for different reasons, and they've been very good about helping out with certain things. I guess maybe the only drawback was the based on the account size, the amount of withdrawal, the payout I could get, and the profit split. It seems a little high for the amount out, but hopefully over time that will change. I don't know. Currently, I have different accounts at different firms from 50K to 150K and
Yeah.
various things in between. Currently I can only do a $1,300 payout on a 50K account, but after the profit split, it's only $1,000. So that's the only drawback. But otherwise, other than that, it's good. I have end of day trailing drawdown, which is what I like, so I don't have to risk intraday drawdowns. So but
That's
that's
good.
that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, no, that's good. Thanks for pointing that out. And regarding that as well, which account, do you remember which accounts you picked? Was it the custom, instant, standard?
I think it was the 50K Elite, I think. I
Okay.
don't really remember.
No worries. What would you think about those accounts of the elite so far?
Yeah, they're fine. They're good. They're good. I don't really love the soft breach in some other the firms that I've dealt with because while I could go negative in some respect, but my trading style and my skills are good enough to recover from a big loss. I've done it numerous times. I try not to make big losses if I can. Occasionally it happens.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect, but some of the soft breach accounts, I've had a soft breach, but like my other accounts are still negative. But I've actually understood what the market's really trying to do, and I'm be able to recover over $1,000 loss into multiple hundreds of dollars of gains, and get out and then kind of regroup and trade again, and if I need to for whatever reason. So.
Awesome. If we were to go back personal life wise, what was the hardest part of your training journey?
Well, a lot of people say that, it's got to do these trades without emotion, which I find to be complete baloney. Whenever
That's a
you're
hot
trying
take.
to trade with money, and yeah, when you have money on the line, you can't be unemotional. That's impossible.
Yeah.
You have a stake in this. My biggest thing was just to like try to not worry about the fear of missing out. Like if there was some gigantic move or up or down, don't chase it. Just let things happen. Let the current trend or whatever fizzle out or retrace or whatever, and then get back in when my signals come aligned. There's been times where I've traded and chased and got burned by it. So it's about I think the biggest thing is about patience. It has
Patience.
nothing to do with emotion. Emotion's going to happen to everybody. So
I agree with you there. I honestly thought, yeah, that's for sure baloney. I mean, everyone has emotions. If you don't have emotions, I mean, you're practically AI at that point. Going back to, your prop firms as well. Speaking of emotions, I mean, what did you feel when you got that first payout? Just walk me through that feeling when you got your first payout.
yeah, I try to treat this like a job. When you go to any other job, you don't really have a bad day or a failure day. You want to prove yourself. And while I'm my own boss in the trading world, I want to make sure that I do the right things during the day. And when I hit my goals and I see that I get a payout, that I know that I did things right. And all of my ideas, my thoughts, the indicators that I did, my strategies all work. I mean, I've got multiple payouts to prove that. I'm within another day or two of getting another payout with Funded Elite and other prop firms, and I just know that getting that it's a success, but it's not the end of the journey because there's another one I want to get towards and get
Exactly.
to. My goal is to eventually get to a live account on every prop firm. That's my ultimate goal. But yeah, I think I can get there. I just need to give myself a little bit more room between my drawdown and my balance. And then I know I can get to the threshold that I need to in order to get to the live accounts.
100%.
Because I could repeat this process every single day almost without failure. Because I've had 100+ days in a row of positive gains.
Which is insane,
So
by the way. 100 plus days of positive. Yeah, that's great. That's props to you for that. That's green for me. But kind of talking about process, what do you think about Funded Elite's payment process, or just like the payout process in general?
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I've used Rise before, very before on numerous occasions. So yeah, some companies they take 2 to 3 days to approve a payout, which like if I've hit all your benchmarks, it should be almost instant within an hour. It should be approved, and then I should get at most 2 days at the absolute most. And there are some firms out there that I would I put a withdrawal or a payout request, and I wouldn't see those funds in my account for almost 10 days. And
Wow.
it's just not allowed. You just can't do that.
Yeah,
Like because there's a higher risk of what they're banking on is people getting that and then blowing their account in the process.
exactly.
So I've done the hard work. You're going to get your profit split. That's fine. But, I should be paid in due time based on the work I put in.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a delay.
Yeah.
Funnily, it's been very good. I got the notification about the Rise thing. I signed the paperwork right away. I already had a Rise account anyway, and then the funds were in there within a few hours. So it was fine. It was great.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to hear that. That's really good. Now, last two questions for you. What advice would you have? I mean, I know you already mentioned this towards the beginning of the interview, but what advice would you have to any traders getting into trading as a whole and also prop firms in general?
Say that educate yourself. You don't world of trading. You don't have to learn about market structure in this. Everybody's trading journey is different, but understand why the market's moving and what's going on and um, what levels things either have support or resistance on, and understand how futures actually work. And then once you're able to repeat that, it may take I would say go into a prop firm because it allows you to have a low upfront cost and a high ceiling of payouts. And you can get into these things. Yeah, you might fail, but it's not costing you a lot. But if you start small and you start learning how to do things, and that was my biggest challenge was I didn't understand a whole lot of indicators and what they meant and all that stuff. And I took a step back. I took a good month and a half off and just regrouped and tried to learn what I'm doing wrong. And then as I started like, okay, now I see what's going on. I see how this reacts at this level, or this does this, or the news affects this. I built my own, like I said, I built my own indicators that can tell me exactly the percentage of a chance that something's going to either go up or go down. That's valuable because it's not 100%, but it gives me a fighter's chance that I could at least make some profit in one way, shape, or another. So I would say yes, prop firms can be scary because there's all some hidden rules and all these other things. But as long as you understand what the rules are, if you don't understand the rules, just reach out to the help desk community or me or anybody like that because
Yeah.
I've gone through all the rules. I know all of them
Nothing can phase you.
and what they mean. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So, but
that's
yeah,
awesome.
I don't think anybody should sway away from prop firms. Some are better than others. My thing would be to ask questions about when you are successful and you do get a payout, like how long does it take for me to get a payout? Is it going to be taking 2 weeks or is it going to days?
Yeah,
Because you're putting the hard work in. The last thing you want to do is be like, well, where's my money? Where am I getting? When am I going to get paid? Like,
I'll be
it's just
pissed.
kind of, yeah.
Awesome. Well, lastly, as well, would you recommend Funded or Futures Elite to any beginner trader who is trying to get in?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend the prop firm. It's simple enough, and there's not a billion bells and whistles that you have to jump through. It may be a little cumbersome at first if not everything, but once you kind of work your way through the dashboard and learn about what's going on and how everything looks and structured, and that the help desk is there almost 24 hours a day if you need it, it can be a very good tool. So yeah, I would 100% vouch for this firm.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Ben. We greatly appreciate what you said today and the value you provided today. Much appreciated. But
You're
pretty much,
welcome.
yeah, that was pretty much all I had for you today. Thank you so much for your
Okay.
time. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. If you haven't already, please give us a follow on all social media platforms. We post these interviews consistently to give you guys a good experience with our prop firm and day trading as a whole. Again, shout out to Ben. He's been with us for a little bit now and he's been very good to us. We've been very good to him. Happy day trading. Peace.